Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors.
It's important to inspect what you expect. If you're not inspecting your plan, if you're not reviewing your plan,
or if your financial advisor is not inspecting it,
correct,
then you need a second opinion. Come see us.
Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right.
And you can meet the team at realretireesofnewjersey.com. You can find that link here in the show notes. Thanks for streaming The Real Retirees of New Jersey with Peggy and Randy Fisher. My name is Mark Owens. Right out of the gate, Peggy, Randy, is the American dream still alive? Is it attainable?
Guess who you talk to? So I would assume yes. I mean, it's one of the reasons why people live in this country, right? It's one of the reasons why 10 million, 20 million people snuck across the border.
Because they want to.
Or they didn't sneak across the border, actually. Or they just walked across the border, or they got an airplane ticket.
Because they want the American dream, right?
Yeah, they want the American dream.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they coming here for? Pizza?
I don't know.
Free cell phone,
riot,
free healthcare.
free everything. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Well,
yeah, the American dream. So it's funny.
Here we go.
The way that I think about it too is, you can achieve it, but you need to work for it.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's hard work to get to the American dream, and I don't know if like the younger crowd.
Depends on what you make the American dream.
Exactly. Well, what they think the American dream is to own a home. That's
what I was thinking.
That's the number one thing is to own a home. So it's like, they think that they can do that.
Right.
Can you?
Mark, what he meant by what was the American dream? What was the question?
If you think, but like if you Google it, we all think the American dream is owning a house, having two cars,
home ownership.
Yes, yep. I'm not renting; I own it. Maybe I take 2 nice vacations a year. I can buy my kids the electronics that they want. I mean, to me, and that's just my opinion, what is the American dream? For me, for Mark Owens, my American dream is paying my bills and knowing that the power bill may be a little high because it's hot during the summer and not stressing about it. Paying my bills, knowing that I'll be okay. Yeah. That to me is the American dream.
Yeah, so it says
Good
here,
point.
it's funny because when you asked that and me looking it up, it says the dream was often seen as shifting from home ownership to stability, just like you just said, Mark. Like, okay, so I feel good when I'm stable.
Yeah.
I know that no matter, even if those bills go up a little bit, but I still can do it, I'm good.
Yeah.
So what you just said is exactly what the dream is now shifting to be, where before it was home ownership. Mm-hmm. So I think that is still, true. I mean, that's
sure.
even... You know what I mean? Like the ability to own a home. That's the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
I own this. This is my land.
I don't know about
this
that.
This is my piece of property.
No,
What do you think?
I think it's generational.
Well, I agree with you 100%.
Because there's a huge swath of the generation that they do not want to own a home.
You're saying that. We just talk about that in the workshops.
I mean,
all the
they
time,
don't. They don't.
right?
They don't want to own anything.
No.
And the reason that is because then it's responsibility and it's something that they need to pay for. They'd rather someone else pay for it. So if they were no, I'm not kidding you. So if they're a renter or a leaser,
right,
they don't have to worry about putting a roof on, replacing the
landscaping,
the AC,
all the stuff that comes with a home.
Right,
we were discussing
all the options that actually have to go along with it. As long as they have a key that works and they can get in there and put all their garbage in there and do what they got to do and eat their Cheetos and watch their TV, they're good to go. Then there's other people that say, well, instead of me throwing the money out the window, some people say that is I want to actually own it.
Something.
So I'm putting my money into an asset.
Right.
Obviously that's the way to go. But today, the average new home buyer is what, in their 40s? Mm-hmm. Where before they were in their early 20s. But times have changed dramatically. I mean, when you think about it, the purchasing power of the dollar is not what it used to be. And I talk about this all the time. How did our grandparents or our parents have 2 jobs, one in the home, one out of the home? One was taking care of all the rugrats while the other person was potentially working outside the house. They would come home. There'd be 3 meals for everybody on the day.
Yeah.
There was a dog in the yard, a car in the front, front of the house, and they all lived on $30,000-$40,000 a year. Today, that's not the capabilities of $30,000-$40,000 a year. In fact, most people, they just purchased their last car or vehicle for more than what their parents or grandparents bought their first house for.
Right.
That is the erosion of the American dollar. And when it comes down to it is, when you're thinking, we're talking about, how do you save a few dollars here and there by using apps or checking your credit or whatever it may be. And that's all relevant. But the sheer fact that the dollar has lost a considerable amount of value over the past decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, that is a big problem because when you're looking at a potential 2-person, 3-decade retirement, moving forward from here, what is that going to look like, and how much money do you literally have to have in order to continue to keep your style of life and your standard of living up throughout your entire period of retirement?
Yeah, and it says, like here too, 64% of upper income Americans believe that the dream is achievable, where 39% of lower income Americans believe that it is achievable. I mean, that's big numbers, a big difference, right?
But I also think, again, it comes down to psyche. What are these people being taught at such an early age
Right.
of you're not going to be able to do it? There's that whole saying is, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Mm-hmm. If you are entitled to thinking that someone else is going to pay for something for you,
exactly.
That's the mindset you're going to be trapped in.
Right.
If you're not in a trapped mindset and you're thinking of, well, hey, I got to work my ass off, or I got to do something in order to get out of this state of mind, of this state of financial being, economy, whatever it may be, to make myself better or to make my family better, then it's just putting your nose to the grindstone and getting it done, right? Finding a way to do it.
Well, they even think about, all of our, ancestors who came here, with nothing, 2 nickels to rub.
Right.
They had to work hard to achieve the American dream. That's what it was, right?
Well,
that's when I think American dream, I think back to that. You know what I mean? My grandfather, someone who came from Poland, came here, didn't barely know English, and became a master builder and built homes here and had his own business. He had the American dream, had a beautiful family, wife, children, a home, a job. But when he came here, he didn't have 2 nickels to rub, but hard
work. That is the
transformation
of immigration, though.
Yeah.
Right? People used to come to this country because they were looking to make a lifestyle,
have a better life.
Better.
Right. Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Today, I don't know if that's the thrill of it is I'm still going to go to America and make myself better.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're not getting here to say, I'm going to make myself better. It's, I'm going to get there and it's going to be better. Mm-hmm. It's because of all the handouts.
Yeah, right.
Right? And the society that has been built upon this political nightmare that we have
yes,
about
that's true.
Who can actually vote or how we can get people's asses in certain locations with regard to census, for then the politicians to basically be political about it to stay in office and do what they can because they have people or constituencies that say they need this. Well, it's literally the modern day slavery when you think about it. I mean, they're literally keeping people under their thumb and saying, we will take care of you as long as you do this.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of disgusting. I don't know. That's the difference between, we started talking about the American dream. Is that the American dream for someone who's living in a mud hut in, I don't know where in the world and makes it to the United States?
Yeah.
Maybe. Right? That's the American dream.
Well, also,
it's better than eating crickets and living in a mud hut.
Well, you bring it back to the younger generation too. Is it about what do they see, right? Stagnant wages and high debt. I mean, this is what they're seeing.
No, this is what they're being told.
Well, being told, but also
no, not what they're seeing.
Yeah, but what
they're
being told. Right, exactly. I mean,
okay, there's a difference between reality and saying something enough for people to believe it.
Yeah.
If you say I'm green long enough, I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to be green.
You're green, Randy.
Okay.
Green with envy.
Yeah.
So it is a mindset, and it is a cultural awakening sometimes too,
Yes.
right? I joke about this all the time, but there is a generation literally that their retirement plan is waiting for their parents to die.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
They haven't put away $1. All
right.
They spend like crazy. They keep our economy humming along. There's no doubt about
they're spenders.
it.
Yep.
They're spenders.
Yep.
They spend money before they even have it.
Yeah.
Right? They own nothing. And their idea of the future is when mom or dad die, I'm going to get da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
That is their retirement.
But you know what's terrifying? And I don't mean to sound like old man boomer Fox News here, but there are so many of this younger generation, the college kids, that think, you know what? I have no desire for the full-time job. I'm going to bounce around until I get the days off that I want and the salary that I want, even though I'm not fully educated enough, even though I don't have the qualifications, because you know what? At the end of the day, the government's going to take care of me. And that is terrifying.
And that's delusional too. Let's be really
so
frank.
many of these kids think
It's
that.
only delusional to the rational people.
Right, exactly.
It's not delusional to the person who was told you're the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
You don't need to lose. Everyone's a winner. Everybody's got to go to school.
True.
Because school is for experiences,
Right.
not actually for what you need
And
to
that's the
study for
problem
something.
today. All these kids are coming out with so much
Let's
debt.
spend $140,000
Right, so
on
much
5
debt.
years worth of doing nothing but soap carving.
Right.
And I'm going to go work at Starbucks
For
and
$30
request $30 an hour and then
right.
piss and moan
Yeah, exactly.
why you can't survive in this world.
Yeah.
And then wonder why you need politicians to make the minimum wage $30, where everything from toothpaste to baking soda to everything else is 9 times more expensive than what it should be.
Right, exactly.
Right? Because the minimum wage is supposed to be a job, not a career.
Right.
Right? People don't actually say, I'm going to go get married and start a family because I'm working in Starbucks. If that's the case, that doesn't make a lick of sense.
Well, the problem is too, those people aren't starting families right now because they can't afford it.
And they're also not starting families because they're told that the world sucks.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true.
That's
Yeah.
also the American
Exactly.
dream.
That's exactly the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
They're told that
The
America
world don't
is the
suck.
problem, even though
their attitude sucks.
everybody wants to be here, but America is the problem. But we want to
Right.
let everybody in, but America is the problem.
I saw something the other day. So I don't know what channel it was. Somebody was interviewing somebody, and they basically said, is America the best country in the world to live in? And the person said no. And the next question out of their mouth was perfect because it was a perfect follow-up. Okay,
Why?
where is better than America?
Yeah.
And you know what they said?
What?
I don't think there is any.
There isn't.
So wait a minute.
Right.
If America is not the best place in the world to live, and there's no other place that's better, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
And this was just, I hate to say it this way, this was this little middle-aged white lady.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, I don't know, entitled to think that I'm so ahead of the world because I'm whatever, white and woman and something or blah, 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 stupid ass. Anyway, just, I don't care what color you are, where you came from or anything else. If you work your ass off, you should have the same entitlement to everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
The bottom line.
I mean, that's the way we grew up and raised. I mean, even when we started out, I mean, it's funny because when my daughter first got married, I'm like, well, they needed some additional money. I go, you could get a second job. She goes, second job. I'm like, me and your dad, when we started out, we had 3 jobs apiece. I didn't see your dad when we were first married because we were working to pay for the house that we did get, right? We were happy enough to do that.
The American dream.
The American dream. We did have the house. We did, I have a baby right away and stuff like that. But we worked our asses off, to achieve that.
Well, you talk about the American dream. People are pissing and moaning that they can't afford a house. Again, it comes down to everybody's on this buzzword, affordability. It's not affordability. It has to do with discipline.
Yeah.
It has to do with literally saying you're going to save enough for a down payment, not it's going to be given to me because I'm entitled to a house.
Yeah.
Right? The average 30-year mortgage rate in the United States, the average rate is 8.5%. The current rate right now, I just saw it the other day, was less than 6.1.
Yeah.
And people are in uproar, like throwing up on the sidewalk because the rates are so high they can't believe it that they can't afford a mortgage. That's not the reason why they can't afford a mortgage. They can't afford a mortgage because the politicians in this country have spent us into oblivion and the dollar is not worth shit. That's the problem. So the money in which they have in their pocket can't afford the down payment required enough.
That's right.
In
So
order to
20%.
bring the mortgage down low enough for them to afford a cash flow or a monthly payment that would fit. That's the problem.
Yeah, it is.
Right? And on top, I mean, they're talking about 50-year mortgages and portable mortgages and all this other bull crap. The fact of the matter is put on your big pants, save some money. Instead of getting 16 bags of chips and 2 TVs and 17 pairs of shoes, put away a little bit of money, start saving for a down payment, and then put a deposit on a house.
I saw an interview or an article with one of these college kids, and I hate to keep going back to the college kids, but talk about how expensive it is to live. And they made the comment that, well, we have to keep upgrading our phones, or I have to get the latest technology. The dad in me came out, and I'm sitting there screaming, you don't have to do anything.
Absolutely not.
You don't have to go buy the iPhone 17X Plus Max. You don't have to get the latest AirPods just because they could translate while you're at the Mexican restaurant. You don't have to. You want to get that. There is some discipline required with the American dream.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, I mean, you take that all the way down to groceries, right? Right? I think there's 10, 15, 20, 30 different grocery apps that you can get.
Oh, yeah.
If you actually put plugged your stuff in and go to the store, unlike I do, you get exactly what you're looking for, or you can have even AI today, Chat GPT or whoever the hell else it is, say, hey, listen, I'm looking for these items. Where's the best store for me to actually go get these?
Yeah, it's so funny that you bring that up, though. They just had on TV yesterday, though. This generation orders DoorDash and spends more money eating out than buying groceries.
True.
Isn't that crazy? They said this generation is 100% DoorDashers and eater-outers. They don't...
Eater-outers.
They do not... The whole thing about, okay, we're going to go and spend the budget and we're going to go to ShopRite and only buy this and make our own food, that's out the window, too. This generation...
Because they think that they have no time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, their time is spent being enamored by phone time.
Yeah.
Their eyes are staring at a computer screen 24/7, 365 days a year, that they don't know what a recipe is. They don't know what 45 minutes food prep is or whatever else, right? It's someone else is going to do it for me. It's going to arrive at the door. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to stick it in the microwave for 35 seconds. I'm going to chow down on it and looking at my phone.
I am glad you mentioned that download shopping apps, because we are so far off a script what we were going to talk about today. Smart financial fixes you can tackle in an hour. But you did. That is one of them on the list. Download shopping apps. And that's not just for your grocery stores. I've realized, too, that like the CVS app, that's one of those places, and we mentioned in the last show about Kohl's as well. The Kohl's app, they're giving you 15, 20, 30% off for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
And to save a little bit of money, if I've got to run into the drugstore, I'm going to check that app to see, hey, wait, do I magically have $3 off your purchase or 30% off your entire purchase?
Oh, you could save a lot of money on those, especially like the grocery store app. Like now it's too, like, you look at on the shelf, you go to buy something. There's like 4 different choices, right? But then you'll see the one little like ShopRite thing that says digital coupon, save $2 off that. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm going to do that right there. There it is.
Yep. But the hard part is I am that old man in the parking lot of CVS trying to upgrade my password because I forgot. So
that's me, Mark. And then I don't know what the hell the password is.
I can only do the same variation of the same password so many times, or a different variation of the same password so many times.
And another thing back to that is the loyalty programs. Like, you go to Dunk. If they know you bought 10 coffees, you get the next one free, or Starbucks, or McDonald's, they'll give you a free French fries because they know you ordered whatever.
My password for the past 2 years has been Randy Fisher 1, then Randy Fisher 1 exclamation point, Randy Fisher 2 exclamation point. All right, listen, you can meet Randy, Peggy, the entire team. Let's help you find that American dream. Or maybe you just want to sit down and have this conversation to pass it along to the next generation. The American dream is attainable. It is 100%. Out there, but you got to work for it. It takes a little bit of work. You shouldn't be relying on someone else giving it to you. Anyway, that number is 866-304-3656. 866-304-3656, or online at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You can find all that information here in the show notes. Let's hit pause, and then next week we will finalize our conversation about smart financial fixes you can tackle in 1 hour. We'll get to that next week. But for now, thank you so much for streaming. This has been The Real Retirees of New Jersey, all powered by Artemis Wealth Advisors and Liberty Financial Group.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.